would like to thank the congregation for their amazing support of our youth and our mission trip. Without every one of you, we could not have done this. Secondly, I wanted to tell you a little bit about where we went. We went to Camp Westminster in Roscommon, Michigan. It is a Presbyterian camp that has been active for over 90 years. Going there, we weren't really sure what to expect, what they would need us to do. When we arrived, they instructed us that we are going to paint a brand new cabin that they are building. They're building this cabin. It's going to be one of 2 places that has climate control, so they can use it in the winter. And they can expand their winter programs a little bit. So when we got there, some of it was done excellent, some needed to be fixed. But we worked as a team and we were able to accomplish that goal. Painting got a little bit old after a while, so we asked our counselor, our leader that is part of the camp, is there something else we can do? And he said, yeah, do you guys think you could split wood? There was a little bit of excitement amongst the group. At least 2 of the 4 up have split wood before, so they did an amazing job. We were actually told they did more in an hour than other groups have done in 3 days. So it was absolutely amazing. The group really worked very well together. We picked this passage because each one of them, each person has a special gift. Some of the gifts that these youth showed us, strength, determination, problem solving. We would come up with, we weren't really sure what to do. Innovation, because, we have some that are vertically challenged and still came up with amazing ways to accomplish what we needed to do. Sharing, just kindness. We were actually with another group. 2 of those kids got sick during the week, and the kindness that our group showed to the other group was fantastic. So I'm really proud of these kids. I will introduce each one of them, because some of you may know some of them. We have Robbie Falai, who obviously is one of my children. Michael Pham, he has been attending youth group since Jay and Robbie have, so for about 3 years. And then Jay Falai, one of our other boys. And we have a new member here, Yen Win. She is going into 6th grade and just joined in, and absolutely amazing girl. So what we would like to do next is kind of have the kids talk about what their favorite part of the trip was, something they struggled with and learned, and something they either learned or learned more about. So Yen is not comfortable speaking, so we're going to go on to Jay. We're going to go to Robbie first.
So, one thing that I really liked during the camp was definitely the high ropes course, because I just like high ropes courses. I think they're really fun. And one thing I struggled with, I think, was really just stay focused in the painting, because it's pretty repetitive. Just going up and down with the paintbrush side to side, it gets repetitive, but we switched over to the wood, splitting it out. That was pretty fun. And one thing that I learned, I didn't really learn it, but it kind of just furthered something that I already knew, which was I really like high ropes courses and zip lines and that kind of thing, where you're like wearing harness and climbing and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I had a lot of fun at camp, and now it's time for Michael to say stuff.
Well, something that I really liked during the camp was probably the initiatives course, when we all had to work together, communicate. That was fun, especially with a brand new group of strangers. But it kind of tiring at the end, especially with the traffic jam, because I moved once. Anyways, something that I really struggled with was the painting, because just as Robbie said, it wasn't exactly fun at any point in time of when we were painting. And the only fun thing about the painting was Robbie's favorite, the green stick that Jay painted, I think, for some reason. We painted it. Okay. Something that I learned is, well, during painting, I was kind of getting tired, so it taught me to chase somebody. So I just went along with that, and that's when I learned how to work a chainsaw. So that's fun.
Something I liked was playing Uno. That was fun. Something that was hard was rock climbing. I learned that heights are not fun sometimes.
Thank you guys, I really appreciate that. One thing I would like to say about the painting, it was Yen's favorite. She really liked the painting. But I actually didn't realize how much you guys didn't like the painting. There were no complaints. They really just did it. So that was a great thing. And what they're talking about, we had the opportunity to, at the camp, they have a high ropes course. They have a lighthouse that they put rocks on, so it's like a rock climbing wall that we were strapped into a rope and a belay and all of that fun stuff. And then a low ropes course, which was a lot of problem solving activities and group activities that we did with the other team that had four youth. So we were problem solving with people we met maybe a day before. So they did an amazing job of including that group in and having fun. And what Jay said, his favorite part was playing Uno. Okay, here's Ken to talk a little bit.
So yeah, the word wow comes to mind. In life, you have wow moments kind of throughout your life, your marriage, things you have happen with your family. Well, this week was a wow moment, I think, for a lot of us. High experience for us. It was great to see this group of people come together. Yen is new to us, very welcomed, and the first day we went swimming, we had a pair of our regular people out there, and Yen, and so you have to have a buddy, so we had a three-way buddy, and they brought her right in, and she was part of the buddy group. As much as they said they didn't like the painting, you should see the job they did. They did some really fine-looking work. Something I learned, I didn't know that there was such a thing as Westminster green, but we had 2 colors of green paint, and they didn't know that we had 2 colors of green paint. And we started looking at previous groups painting, and it's like, that's a different color than them. So the director came to visit us, and we discovered that one of the paints wasn't really supposed to be. So that paint got hauled away and hidden, and we used our Westminster green the rest of the week and our proper stain. So that all went very well. I will highlight kind of how the day went a little bit. Each morning, we had something called Morning Watch, and it was at about 7:50 in the morning. Would you believe that they all got up and went to Morning Watch? and what I expected was the emotional part, and we had that, it was wonderful. But something I didn't know about Camp Westminster is many of their leaders come from around the world. And so they put up a different flag from a country of someone in the leadership each day. We had flags from Australia, Africa, and Europe. In fact, our group leader all week, Tom, is from the United Kingdom. And we were really pleased to meet him. He helped us with our challenge courses, and he sat with us at the meals. And I guess what I learned is just how we can come together. Oh, I almost forgot. Probably the most special thing I saw all week. They're on the high ropes, challenging for probably every one of them. And every one of them had a different challenge space. One place was harder than another, you know. So I saw a group of 3 of our people, and I learned on the first night when we had low ropes that I probably wasn't in shape to do high ropes. So I stayed on the ground and took pictures. And I think you may see some pictures later. I saw a group of 3 people, one person kind of like, you know, it's a little struggle getting from here to here. And then we had a couple leaders, a leader behind and a leader ahead, and helping to coach and guide that person through the trouble spot. And just amazing what I saw and how they worked together, that kind of thing. That was probably actually the highlight of my week. And golly, then I want to thank the Pillai family, because gosh, they let Mom go all week. She drove us, she worked day in and day out. And it was just a great thing. And I know Chris had to stay behind. BJ was here, and Sarita was here, so he had things to do.
It's my name.
So I want to thank
I love it
him.
when people forget about me.
Great experience and all. That's probably a pretty good summary of my thoughts of it.
First of all, you guys did an awesome job. I know that I've been saying it for 5 days, but you've done an amazing job. I was thoroughly impressed with all of you. It was weird yesterday, not being with you guys, waking up and thinking, oh shoot, I don't have to share a shower, or make sure that everybody else is getting in the shower before we go to breakfast. That was a welcome blessing, but it was odd waking up and not being surrounded by all of these other guys, by Ken and Eric and the 3 boys. It was weird to wake up in my own bed, which was nice, but still weird. I wanted to take a moment to tie together all of the things that we're talking about this morning. We chose the scripture from 1 Corinthians this morning, very intentionally. Chose the scripture for the children's lesson from 1 Timothy, very intentionally. We are in an interesting season as a congregation, would you not agree? Some of us are a little nervous, some of us are a little anxious because of the uncertainty and the changes that are going on. But what I want to tell you about is that we have a delightful, promising future ahead of us. And in addition to that, take a page out of these guys' book. They worked together all of this week. We had to figure out ways to get, how many people were there? 16 people onto a 2x2x2x2 box, standing, elevated, while singing Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Right, we got away with, we cheated a little bit on that one. They gave us a way out. You're right. We had to work together to get the cabin finished as a team. There were different roles for everybody. Some of us were comfortable getting up on ladders, some of us were not. Some of us were more vertically challenged than others, which left Aaron to paint all of the high portions of the underside of the roof. What else did we have to do? We had to figure out ways to get some of us across the high ropes because some of us got a little nervous or anxious. We had to figure out ways to get up the rock wall, right? We coached each other along the way. We pointed out handholds and what worked for us to one another so that we might be able to get a little bit higher. Those are all things that not only this group of people is going to be able to take with them as they continue on in life, but it's something that we can take on together. We may not all have the answers and we may not all be able to do specific jobs, whether it be in this process that we're going through as a congregation or in the life of our church as a whole down the road. But there are certain tasks that we're all geared towards. We have this certain skill set, we have the gifts, the natural abilities to do things. And if we work together and we pool our resources, pool our abilities and our strengths and our gifts from God, I have nothing but faith that we're going to make it through anything that is in store for our church family. One of my favorite things to watch happen this week was similar to what Carla has already said, was to watch our group of kids welcome another group in. That group struggled with leadership. The woman that was there with them she had some stuff going on. She had to take care of some sick kids. But our group welcomed the kids into the fold. There was no time that I saw you guys turn them away. We did humble them. We taught them a lesson in humility when we played Ultimate Frisbee. That was after we had been taught humility in basketball a couple of times. But at no point did we turn anyone away. So we need to say thank you to all of you, because you all have helped teach us that spirit of welcoming, right? You have welcomed us into your midst. You have welcomed these youth into your midst. You've welcomed me into your midst. And I want to thank you for that. That is going to be something that we need to carry forward with us, right? We need to welcome everyone into our midst. So, that is all that we have for today. I think we've covered all of the awesome things that we were able to do. I'm hoping that maybe in the future we might be able to share some of the cool songs that we learned while we were at camp. We have a wonderful certificate that Suzanne, the director of Camp Westminster, gave to us that we're going to have out in the narthex, I believe. Robbie set that out outside. If you have any questions for us or any members of the team, we're going to be outside of the narthex before the Bible study gets started, so you can come and talk to us a little bit more while we're out there if you're interested. I know that the kids would be happy to tell you about anything that they did, and so would Carla, Ken, and I. I'm sure Eric would tell you a little bit about some of the things that he did as well while he was there. I want to say thank you again. Carla started everything by saying that none of what we did this week would have happened without you, and she's exactly right. Your faithfulness, your giving, your support made this trip possible. So thank you all. Thank you for covering us in prayer. And we are excited for what the future has in store for us. We hope that you'll join us in this journey as we move forward. If you guys have any questions at this time, I think we'll take a couple. Susan, you had one? Okay. So in the morning, we started with our morning watch, which was our morning devotional time, and then we had breakfast, and we had to sing songs and lively songs. It kind of turned into a little bit of an English pub sort of feel. Lots of chanting, lots of smacking the tables and stomping on the floor. I didn't know until this week that I remembered all the words of Puff the Magic Dragon until we got to camp, which was awesome. But we got to sing songs, we got to eat. Every morning and every day, actually for every meal, we had to select 2 volunteers. You guys remember this. This is probably one of your favorite parts of the week, right? Absolutely. Going and setting up the tables for each meal and bussing tables and sweeping underneath to make sure that everything was cleaned up. Then after breakfast, we had to go back to our cabins and clean up our living area. Usually that was pretty quick because, believe it or not, our middle schoolers actually are pretty tidy people. I was very impressed. Better than me, actually, in a lot of places. Then we got started and we had our first work block, which was usually about 3.5 to 4 hours typically in the morning. And we started, yeah, I know, it was that long. It was that long. So we did that. We would either paint or later in the week, we split wood in the mornings as well. Then it was time for lunch and this wonderful thing called FOB, which is an acronym which stands for flat on bed, or flat on back, feet on bed, aka nap time. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So we had FOB every day after lunch, and then after that we would go and we would have our second work block for another couple of hours. And then after that, we got some free time. So, sometimes swimming, sometimes Uno. We played this great new version of Uno called Uno Flip, which we're definitely going to be buying for the youth ministry. Well, we got to swim, we got to play Frisbee, we played some basketball, and then in the evenings after dinner, the first night we went to Vesper, which was sort of the camp worship service. And it was all a cappella, and we sang old hymns. And it was wonderful. Little chapel, open air chapel in the woods. It was awesome. We got to do that on the first night while we were there. And then in the evenings, we also did our low ropes, our high ropes, our rock wall climb as well. And then we had some free time after we got done with those things. And then, typically, we were exhausted and we went to bed, usually by 10 o'clock every night. So, Michigan time is a difficult thing to adjust to, let me tell you. Because we were all really tired, especially out being outside all day, working pretty hard. But that was the basic schedule for the day.